Good morning. This is Courtney Howard. I'm going to be the court reporter today. I do not hear any audio, so I was wondering if we could do an audio check before the judge takes the bench.
Good morning, Miss Howard. How are you this morning? Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning. Thank you very much. Hi, Miss Young.
Yes, ma'am. And the judge, she'll be here in about 5 minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, Ms. Howard, this is courtroom 2. I assume you can hear us.
Yes, Mr. Haddad, good morning. Thank you.
See you. All right.
Nice to see you.
You ready to go? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Law, and we're going to proceed with our state all-purpose calendar. These are misdemeanor cases which have already been accused. The defendants' cases, most of them have already had their first appearance. Bonds have been set. And today we're going to get an idea of the status of the case. If you're a defendant accused of one or more misdemeanor offenses, please remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you choose to say during this virtual proceeding, especially when it's being recorded and live streamed, anything you choose to say can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. If you have any questions or comments about your case, please direct them to your attorney in private and do not broadcast it during this virtual proceeding. You also have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. You will either get an attorney from the Public Defender's Office or from our conflict defense list. Today, after conferring with your attorney, the defendant will advise the court as to how they would like to proceed with the case. Either they would like to accept a plea offer from the prosecution and enter a plea of guilty or no contest in exchange for a recommended sentence, or they choose to enter a plea of not guilty and have their cases further noticed for trial. So other matters we'll probably address are bench warrants and bond modifications and so forth. So courtroom 2, good morning. Who do we have, please?
Good morning, position number 5, Mr. Xavier Choice.
Okay, give me that case number again.
Position 5,
Okay, give me 30 seconds. The deputy has to do something on the bench. All right, I'm all good. Position number 5 on the state. This is Xavier Choice, accused of battery from April 10th, 2025. Mr. Choice, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Tom White. And with regards to Mr. Choice, this is going to be a plea. So, sir, if you please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Say yes or no.
Yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Scirocco, good morning. And yes, sir, what's the plea recommendation?
Good morning, Judge. The recommendation for this case on the count of battery is 12 months to serve 90 days, credit for time served 29 days. That's from April 10th, 2025 to present. Balance probated. No further contact with Virani Sarfaraz. Stay away from the Texaco located at 315 North Central Avenue in Hapeville. BHET and 40 hours community service. We would sound for Mr. Sarfaraz when appropriate.
All right, Virani Sarfaraz, are you present? All right, no.
We would ask the defense stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID for purposes of the plea.
All right, Mr. White?
So stipulated, Your Honor. We just asked probation terminate or go non-reporting upon completion.
We would take issue with that, Judge. There is a pretty extensive history of simple batteries, and I see simple battery and robbery conviction 2023, simple battery conviction 2024, battery conviction 2020, and other convictions stemming back. So we would take issue with it going non-reporting or terminating for this case.
If Mr. Choice completes all the conditions of probation, including the BHET and the 40 hours of community service, and his probation fees are up to date, then I'll consider non-reporting. Is that acceptable, Mr. White?
Absolutely, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Choice, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am, just my regular medication.
All right. Are you still able to understand what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Has it been explained to you that if you plead guilty to this charge, you would have additional time to serve at the jail? In addition to that, you would have to waive your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not get the chance to go back to court to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, and the prosecution won't have to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to 1 count of battery?
Yes.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 90 days, credit for time served 29 days. You shall, once you've completed your additional time at the Fulton County Jail, you'll be released, but you must report to probation within 48 hours of being released. You'll report on the first available Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. You report to probation before 3 p.m. While on probation, you will enroll and complete a behavioral health evaluation and submit yourself to any treatment as required. You're also to complete 40 hours of voluntary community service, and you are to do that at any nonprofit agency that's not a church or a school. You'll do your community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month until all 40 hours are completed. At all times, you are to have no contact with Virani Sarfaraz, I guess he's the employee at Texaco gas station, and you are to stay away from that gas station at 315 North Central Avenue in Hapeville, Georgia.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
you complete all your conditions and you're up to date with your probation fees, then your probation will be non-reporting. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
Position number 14, Jackson.
Okay, let's see. Mr. Jackson only has one case, right, Mr. White?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, I just had a couple of Jacksons here. Okay, Julian Jackson's case is 25 CR 2174J, accused of battery, family violence from April 25th of this year. Mr. Jackson, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Mr. Tom White. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Judge. For the count of battery family violence, it's 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 13 days. That's from April 26, 2025 to present, balance probated. For him to complete FFIB, have no further contact with Fallon Bellamy. Stay away from 1160 Hammond Drive in Sandy Springs, 40 hours community service, and no firearms. We did speak with the victim in this case. He stated he agrees with the plea, but wants to continue contact with the defendant and doesn't want the stay away. However, we are asking for both no further contact and the stay away. Given the defendant's history, we can revisit bond at a future date. But for now, we think no further contact and stay away is appropriate.
All right.
We would sound for Mr. Bellamy when appropriate. Thank you, Judge. And we would
Fallon Bellamy, if you are on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video.
And we would ask the defense stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID.
Okay, let me see. I don't see a Bellamy or a Fallon on the participants list. Okay, Mr. White, anything else to add? Do you so stipulate?
We do stipulate, Your Honor, we would ask that if the alleged victim is asking for contact and no stay away, then we would ask that that be the order of the court. We did not have that information when I spoke with Mr. Jackson, so.
All right. Mr. Scirocco, when was the last time your office contacted or had a conversation with the alleged victim?
This would have been, I believe, yesterday, Judge. I can.
Okay, all right. I'll allow for contact only after he's completed the FFIP classes and the, if he's completed the FFIP classes, which will be about 26 weeks. So after 6 months, then he is allowed to have contact with the alleged victim, and I'll lift the stay away as well. Is that acceptable to your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Jackson, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol?
No, ma'am, I have not, Your Honor.
And have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am, I am, Your Honor.
If you decide to enter a guilty plea to the battery family violence, you understand that that conviction will appear on your record.
Correct.
If you're ever arrested again for a same or similar charge, then it will automatically be a felony charge. Has that been explained to you?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I'm aware.
Are you still willing to move forward with the plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you understand that you'll be waiving your right to a jury trial. You will not get the opportunity to go back to court, to confront your accuser, challenge evidence brought against you, present your own defenses and arguments, and have the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor.
How do you plead to one count of battery family violence?
Guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 13 days. It appears that you have about 17 more days to serve at the jail. Once you've completed this additional time, you will then report to probation within 48 hours of being released. And you must report either on a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, whichever is first available, and report before 3 p.m.
Yes,
While
ma'am.
on probation, you will enroll and complete the Domestic Violence Intervention Program, or what we call the DVIP or FVIP. This is a series of 26 classes that you must complete at your expense. Once you are enrolled in those classes, you must complete all classes without missing or skipping any of those classes. You are required to enroll in the DVIP program within 60 days of being released from jail. You are also to complete 40 hours of voluntary community service with any nonprofit agency, and that can be done with any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. You'll complete the 40 hours community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. Until you have completed the domestic violence programs, classes, until you've completed those classes, you are to stay away from 1160 Hammond Drive in Sandy Springs, and you are to have no contact with Fallon Bellamy. Once you've completed the domestic violence classes and you present the certificate of completion to your probation officer, then you'll be allowed to have no violent contact with Fallon Bellamy. And if he or she allows you back, then you can return to Hammond Drive. But this is strictly up to the alleged victim. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, Your Honor, I am aware.
Okay. At all times, you're not allowed to own, possess, or have any firearms near you. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Best of luck.
Position number 37, Rico Williams.
All right, Miss Kim, is that your case? Miss J. Kim?
I'm here, Your Honor. I apologize. I was
No problem. Just wanted to be sure.
one of the client's family member. May I please get a position number one more time?
Sure. 37, Rico Lucius Williams, case number 25 CR 2144C. Mr. Williams is accused of willful obstruction of an officer and simple battery against an officer. Incident date appears to be April 22nd, 2025. Miss.
Your Honor, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Has it been transferred?
Yes, it was supposed to.
We are still, well, no, we are still waiting on word back from that. We've sent it for transfer. We're waiting on approval from the DAs.
Right, so we should reset.
Hopefully hear back today, but I am just waiting for the response.
All right, how many times has it been transferred? Let's see, the incident date was April 22nd, so it's not been quite 1 month yet. Okay. Ms. Kim, has your client been advised that this case is pending a possible transfer to Superior Court?
Actually, when I was at the interview booth, he didn't show up. So I requested to talk to him if he was there.
All right. Mr. Williams, your case is going to be reset to next Thursday, which is going to be the 15th, is it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. May 15th, 2025 at 9 a.m. And which time then the prosecutor should let us know whether your case is transferred to the Superior Court if the District Attorney's Office accepts your case as a felony matter. Otherwise, hopefully, we will be able to address a alternative option by next Thursday at 9 a.m. All right, Ms. Kim, this case is transferred, not transferred, reset to May 15th at 9 a.m.
Thank
And during which time, until then, you'll have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Williams.
Yes.
Mr. Williams, is best if you speak to the public defense attorney once they show up at jail to speak with you, so you have a better understanding of what's going on with regard to this possible transfer. Do you understand, sir?
Not exactly.
You are charged with two misdemeanor offenses. The prosecution wants to upgrade your charges to a felony matter. Your case is being considered by the District Attorney's Office to see if it can be upgraded to felony charges. So until a decision is made, it would be your best option to speak with your attorney to consider your options. Do you understand?
Yes, I do understand now.
All right. So we will see you on May 15th. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge Law.
Hey, Ms. Deputy Francois, are we ready with your case?
Yes, I have position number 34, Ms. Wilder.
And this would be Mr. Haddad's client, okay? This is Juanisha Wilder, who is at the Fulton County ACDC location. Ms. Wilder, as well as the other individuals who are seated behind her. Good morning, my name is Judge Law. I just want to remind you that as we address your case on a one-on-one basis, you should remember that you have a right to remain silent. Anything you choose to say about the facts of your case, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. One is going to be appointed to represent you, and hopefully you've all had a chance to speak to your attorney prior to this calendar. Ms. Wilder is accused of criminal trespass from April 24th, 2025, under case number 25 CR 2165F. Ms. Wilder, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Do you see Mr. Haddad on the screen in courtroom 2? He's waving his hand. All right. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Speak up.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Westman?
This is gonna be a plea. The only change is there's no BHET requirements. I spoke to the solicitor and they've agreed to remove that condition, Judge.
Okay.
In exchange for either 20 hours community service or Op 21 was what we had said.
What was that? In exchange for 20 hours of community service?
Or Op 21, since she keeps returning to the same location. We were waiting to find out which one worked.
Or the Op 21 program. Okay, which one did your client select, Mr. Haddad?
Judge, it'll be the 21 hours community service.
Okay, 21 hours of community service. All right, got it. All right, Ms. Westman, in addition to the community service, what else is the state recommending?
Thank you. 12 months probation to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance probated, a stay away from the Stop and Shop at 2075 Allison Court, Southwest Atlanta. No further contact with the owner, Precipita Arcaria. Yes, and we were doing, again, the 20 community service hours. We would sound for the victim, Ms. Arcaria, as well as ask defendant to stipulate to ID, venue, and factual basis at this time. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Haddad, do you so stipulate, and does your client accept the terms?
We do, Judge. We do stipulate. I just want to let the court know that if she has a felony probation hold still, so just for the court to instruct her to report to probation as soon as she's released within 24 hours or 40 hours from release from custody, Judge. I just want the court to be aware.
All right. Ms. Wilder, have you consumed any alcohol or medicine recently?
No.
All right, you need to speak up loudly so that our court reporter, Ms. Howard, can hear everything you're saying, okay? Have you understood what's going on in this case as well as on your probation hold?
Yes.
And are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes.
Has it been explained to you that if you decide to plead guilty to criminal trespass, you would have to give up your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury? You will not get the chance to confront your accuser, challenge evidence brought against you, present your own defenses and arguments, and the state won't have to prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to criminal trespass at the Stop and Shop?
Guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days. You currently have a probation hold. Once you are released from your probation hold, you are to report to the Fulton County Probation within 48 hours on the first available Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, and report before 3 p.m.
Okay.
While on probation, you will not return to the Stop and Shop at 2075 Allison Court in Atlanta. You have to stay away from that location, including the sidewalks, the parking lot, and anywhere near that location. Do you understand?
Yes.
You're also to have no contact with the Stop and Shop owner, Prasipta Acharya. All right, well, there's a lot of vowels there, but I'm sure you remember that name. In addition to the stay away and no contact, you're also to complete 21 hours of voluntary community service with any nonprofit agency, but it cannot be a church and it cannot be a school. You will do the community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Good luck with your case. Thank you. All right, ACDC or courtroom 2, who's next?
What's your name? Zachary Allenberger.
Your Honor, position number 2 is ready. That's Mr. White's case, I believe.
Okay.
Correct.
This is State versus Zachary Ryan Adelsberger, accused of battery of a particular nature. We are going to waive sounding from April 24th, 2025. Mr. Adelsberger, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Tom White. Understand this is going to be a plea, and so please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Scirocco, I understand that he's going to be required to complete an SDET. What else is the state recommending?
The state is also recommending, it's 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 14 days. That's from April 25th, 2025 to present. Balance probated. In addition to the SDET, 40 hours community service. No further contact with Chatetsia Clark. Stay away from 160 Edgewood Avenue, Northeast Atlanta. We have spoken with the victim in this case, but it was in advance of SCA. She did affirm the events in the warrant. We would ask the court sound for her when appropriate, and we would ask the defense stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID for purposes of the plea.
Mr. White, do you so stipulate?
We do, Your Honor.
All right. Shatazia Clark, if you're on Zoom, this will be the time to unmute and start your video. All right. Mr. Adelsberger, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
All right. If your voice is muffled, I cannot understand what you're saying, and the court reporter won't be able to take down what you're saying. So let's start again. Have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
I consume the medication prescribed me here. Yes, Your Honor.
So you took some medicine recently?
Depakote and the Howard.
No, I don't need to know what they are. I just need to know yes or no. Did you consume anything?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. After consuming your medicine, are you still able to understand what's going on with your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And has your attorney explained to you that you will be on probation if you decide to plead guilty to this case? In addition to probation, you will have 16 more days to serve at the Fulton County Jail. Has that been explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And has it also been explained to you that by pleading guilty, this charge will appear on your record? And that in order for me to accept a guilty plea, you must freely, willingly, and knowingly waive your right to a jury trial, waive your right to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you. No, you won't have the right to present your arguments and defenses in a court of law, and the prosecution won't have to prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to the battery charge that is being brought against you today?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 14 days. After you have served the additional time at the jail, you'll be released, but you must report to probation within 48 hours, and you report before 3 p.m. on the first available Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. While on probation, you will complete the following conditions: 40 hours of community service at any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. You must complete at least 5 hours per month until all 40 hours are completed. You will also enroll into a special evaluation and treatment program that we will reference as an SDET. Your probation officer will advise you as where you need to go to enroll in such an evaluation, but your appointment date must be made within 90 days of being released. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are to have no contact with Shatasia Clark, and you're to stay 200 yards away from 160 Edgewood Avenue in Northeast Atlanta. If you're seen anywhere near that vicinity, or if you attempt to communicate with the alleged victim, your probation may be revoked and you will complete the rest of the year in prison. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, we would ask that probation go to non-reporting once he completes all of his requirements.
Not for this particular charge. He will report every month.
Yes, Your Honor.
Next, Judge, we have position number 21, Middleton.
And just some brief announcements while we are waiting for that. A few defendants have been accepted for felony transfer. Robert Phillips, who I believe is position 26, has been accepted. Also Douglas Teruse has been accepted. And let's see.
No, okay, we'll go with those two right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, position 21, Brendan Austin Middleton, who is at ACDC. Case number is 25 CR 2124C. Mr. Middleton, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be positioned, Mr. Haddad. Do you see Mr. Haddad on the screen? Okay. This is going to be a plea. Am I correct? Yeah, no.
Wait, Your Honor.
Yes, Judge, my only request is for the court to accept non-reporting upon completion of the terms, but other than that, it's a plea.
All right, let me just get into the preliminary first. Mr. Middleton, as I said, you've been advised of your rights. This is going to be a plea hearing. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do, yes.
Repeat.
I do, yes.
Thank you, sir. All right, what's the recommendation, Ms. Westman, and any objection to non-reporting?
No, Your Honor.
And go ahead.
The recommendation for count 1 is 12 months probation to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance probated, but 20 hours community service. Once that's done, we have no objection. And then count 2 is 12 months probation concurrent with count 1, a stay away from Publix at 1544 Piedmont Avenue, Northeast Atlanta.
All right, Mr. Haddad, do you so stipulate?
We stipulate, Judge.
All right. Mr. Middleton, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
I believe so.
All right. Do you have any questions about what's going on in your case?
No.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes.
And has he explained to you that if you decide to plead guilty to these charges, you would have to give up your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury? There won't be an opportunity to confront your accuser, challenge evidence brought against you, present your legal defenses and arguments, and have the state prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead to one count of obstructing a highway, street, or sidewalk and criminal trespass?
Guilty.
For the obstruction charge, your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. Which means you'll be released within 24 hours unless you have any other holds. If there are no holds, you report to probation on Monday, May 12th before 3 p.m. While on probation for the obstruction charge, you will complete 20 hours of community service with any nonprofit agency, but it cannot be a church and it cannot be a school. You will complete your community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. For the criminal trespass charge, you'll be 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. You cannot return to the Publix supermarket at 1544 Piedmont Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia. That includes the sidewalks and the parking lots. Do you understand? Once you have completed your 20 hours of community service and you are up to date with your probation fees, your probation will then be non-reporting, but you're still required to stay away from Publix until your probation ends. Thank you.
Position number 4, Mr. Olin Brown.
Olin Brown. Okay. State versus Olin Cordell Brown, accused of theft by shoplifting from April 23rd of this year, case number 25 CR 2128J. Mr. Brown, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Mr. White. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Scirocco, what's the recommendation for Mr. Brown?
Yes, Judge, for the count of theft by shoplifting, 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 15 days. That's from April 24th, 2025 to present. Balance probated for him to complete an anti-theft course. Stay away from the target located at 375 18th Street Northwest, Atlanta, and 40 hours of community service. We would ask the defense stipulate the factual basis, venue, and ID for purposes of the plea.
So stipulated, Your Honor, we just asked the probation terminate upon completion of his requirements.
Mr. Scirocco, do you have his GCIC?
I do, Judge. With respect to, I'll start with probation violations from 2023, two of which, there were two in 2023. There are theft convictions stemming back from all the way from 2004 in North Carolina, larceny of stolen vehicles, breaking and entering of a motor vehicle, misdemeanor larceny, but more recently.
Yeah, any prior shoplifting convictions?
Yes, Judge. I see there are two prior theft by shoplifting convictions that he has, one from 2005, another from 2006.
Okay. So, Mr. Brown, this would be your third shoplifting conviction if you decide to move forward with the plea. Just want to be sure that you understand that. Probation will be active for the entire 12 months. There will be no non-reporting and no early termination. Mr. White, would your client still like to proceed?
Your Honor, yes, we're still going forward.
All right. Mr. Brown, and Mr. White, do you so stipulate?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, Your Honor.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
And as I was saying, if I accept this plea, this would be your third shoplifting conviction on your record. If you are arrested again in the future for shoplifting, it can be a felony charge. Has that been explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you still willing to move forward with the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has your attorney explained to you by entering a plea, you would not have the chance to go back to court to have a trial in front of a judge or a jury? You will not get the chance to confront your accuser, challenge evidence that will be brought and presented in front of you, to be able to present your arguments and defenses through counsel, and also the state won't have to prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to one count of theft by shoplifting?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Accept your guilty plea. Your sentence is 12 months to serve 60 days, credit for time served 15 days. You have 15 more days to serve at the Fulton County Jail. Once you are released, you are to report to Fulton County Probation within 48 hours. We're on the first available Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. While you're on probation, you will enroll and complete an anti-theft class, and you must enroll and complete that class within 90 days of being released. You're also to complete 40 hours of community service with any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school, and you must do your community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. At all times, you're to stay away from the Target store at 375 18th Street in Northwest Atlanta. Just for your information, Target stores tend to keep your picture. So if you enter any other Target store, they may ask you to leave, and you're required to do so immediately. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will report to probation every month once you're released until the remainder of the 12 months is served out. Thank you.
You're welcome, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Judge, I have position number 38, right?
38, okay. 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 So Dariana Lee Wright, case number 25 CR 2038G. Ms. Wright, your case number is 25 CR 2038G, in which you have 8 separate misdemeanor offenses stemming from a traffic incident on April 8th, 2025. Fleeing, attempting to elude, 2 counts of speeding, reckless driving, failure to report striking a fixed object, seat belt violation, possession of more than 1 driver's license, and failure to obey a stop sign. You've been advised of your right to remain silent. Your attorney is Mr. Haddad. And Mr. Scirocco, which charges are we going with?
This would be the fleeing or attempting to elude. That's count 1. Counts 2 through 5 would merge with count 1. Time served for count 6, and count 8 would also merge with count 1. The other one that we would be proceeding on is count 7, which would be the
Driver's license?
Yes, Judge, thank you. And is this non-negotiated, is that correct?
Judge, the only thing I'm requesting is a lesser fine, but other than that, we're in agreement. So I'm asking for a $1,500 fine instead of $2,500. So, that's really the only issue.
Okay, if I just want to go into the facts then, for this case then. This incident took place, it would be March 31st, 2025. Officer, observed a green vehicle, later determined to be the car that the defendant was driving, traveling 47 and a 25, within a residential. Put on his lights and sirens. The defendant, kept speeding, went through a two-way stop sign and began fleeing, recklessly through a residential area, discarding stop signs, including a four-way intersection. At that point, going 63 and a 25. Defendant hit a fence and a curb, and then proceeded to get out, flee on foot, and ultimately that defendant's vehicle came to an uncontrolled rest on a concrete rain gutter. The officer followed the defendant, who kept fleeing, into the woods and a creek, told her to stop or she'd be tased, and the defendant said, I can't go to jail. And there was a physical scuffle that actually ensued, with the defendant resisting. At which point she stated she did not have a valid issued license and that she had smoked marijuana earlier in the CVS parking lot. The state's recommendation for this on count one is 12 months to serve 90 days, credit for time served 20. The calculations were a bit off, because it appears she was actually, and thank you for bringing this to my attention, defense. It looks like she was in custody since March 31st. Forgive my math. Do you have the calculation on that, what that would come out to?
Judge, I believe she'll have an additional 7 to 8 days. She would have done, so April is 30 days plus 8 days today. So 38 days, credit for 38 days. So it'll be 90. The recommendation would be 90 days with credit for 38 days.
Yes. Thank you. And for that to balance probated, ADET, 20 hours community service, and a $2,500 fine, with, again, the time served on count 6 and 12 months probation to run concurrent with count 1 on count 7. And we are asking for the $2,500 fine, that heightened fine, given the risk that this sort of behavior posed to the public, especially given it was in that residential area for a substantial period of time, and the risk to the officer and just public safety in general. We feel that that $2,500 fine amount is appropriate, and we would ask the defense stipulate to factual basis venue and ID.
Mr. Haddad, what is, I'm sorry, this is non-negotiated. So what is your recommendation? Was it just to reduce the fine?
That's it, Judge. And my only request is really because she's indigent, Judge. I understand. It's a court. The court cannot suspend the fine. I'm not asking to suspend any fine. I'm just asking for a $1,500 fine instead of the $2,500 fine. That's the only request I have, Judge.
I'm not going to dispense with the fine without something else. I can amend a portion of that fine to community service. So it would be 120 hours of community service instead of 20 hours. And for the first 6 months, she will report to probation twice a month, but she'll only need to pay 1 probation fee. And absolutely no driving for the entire time that she's on probation. The other issue I have is that she apparently had an open case in Alabama. So is she going to be reporting right away, or does she have to go to Alabama?
Your Honor, I'm not aware of any holds from Alabama, Judge. I believe she's got a hold from Chamblee, city of Chamblee.
I do see that there was, I can check, but I do see there being at least the arrest from August of 2024 for attempting to elude an officer out of Madison County, Alabama. I'll see if there's any holds.
So she's got 2 other open cases in Fulton County. You said that The other one was in Chambly?
That'd be DeKalb County, Judge. She's got a hold from City of Chambly. I can't tell what it's for, Judge. But that's the only hold that's showing on Odyssey.
So when will she be able to report to probation to do all this fun stuff?
So, I mean, you know, like I said, because I don't know what's going on with Chambly, I would ask the court to give her, 48 hours upon release from City of Chambly or DeKalb County to report.
And yes, I do see that, there is that hold out of Chambly. She's been held on.
Okay, so she's got a Chambly hold and a Madison, Alabama open case. And does she have residence in Georgia or in Alabama?
Judge, she communicated to me that her residence is here in Fulton County, Judge.
In Fulton County?
I believe so, Judge, yes.
All right.
In the Metro Atlanta area.
My greatest concern is the nature of this high-speed chase and Miss Wright's multiple arrest cycles, open cases, and just the very egregious nature of this case. So if she wants to proceed with this plea, for the first 6 months, she'll be reporting to probation twice a month. The community service is going to be adjusted to 120 hours instead of 20 hours, but her fine will be reduced to $1,500. As soon as she's released, she'll need to get a job because she'll need to stop paying her fine and start paying her probation fees. Now, given these circumstances, would Ms. Wright like to move forward with the plea? Or would she like to have a trial?
Ms. Wright, are you ready or you want to speak to me on the phone? We can do that as well.
You need to speak up, Ms. Wright, if you want to talk to your lawyer.
I would like to go with the plea.
Repeat?
I would like to go with the plea.
Mr. Haddad, shall I move forward?
Yes, Judge, and just so the court is aware, I did inform her that of the possibility the fine may be reduced or may not, and also the possibility of increased community service. So she's aware of all that, but she's ready to proceed. The only thing I did not tell her, of course, is that reporting twice a month, which is clear on the record, and she's ready to proceed with the plea, Judge, and we're ready as well.
As just because of the nature of the case and her criminal record history, she needs to report twice a month to probation. I want to make sure that she understands that she cannot be driving for the, this is to serve night, yeah, for the remainder time that she's on probation.
Understood, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Wright, please raise your right hand for purposes of the plea. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? And Mr. Haddad, you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
We do, Judge.
Ms. Wright, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently? No. Okay, you need to speak up clearly, okay?
No.
And have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. Are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes.
And are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes.
If you decide to enter a guilty plea to the 1, 2, 3 charges out of the 8, you would have to give up your right to a trial. You will not be before a judge or a jury in a court of law. You will not be able to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, be able to have your attorney help you to present your legal arguments and defenses. And also the state won't have to prove all these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes.
How do you plead? To fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer, an adult seatbelt violation, and misdemeanor possession of no driver's license?
Guilty.
On the fleeing or attempting to elude, your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 90 days. You'll be given credit for 38 days, which means you have 7 more days to serve at the Fulton County Jail. Once you have completed your additional 7 days, you will then be transported to wherever you need to go to address your hold, which I understand right now is with the Chambly Municipal Court. Once you are released from Chambly or any other holds, you will report to Fulton County Probation within 48 hours of being released, and you must report on the first available Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday before 3 p.m. For the fleeing or attempting to elude, you'll be on probation to complete an alcohol and drug evaluation and submit yourself to any treatment as required. You'll be required to complete 120 hours of community service, and you'll be required to do a minimum of, it'll have to be a minimum of 15 hours per month. So every month you must complete at least 15 hours of community service at any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. You're also required to pay a fine of $1,500, and you will need to pay that fine at a minimum rate of $200 a month. And it would be best if you make your first payment within 60 days of being released. Count 2 merges with count 1, count 3 merges with count 1, count 4 merges with count 1, count 5 merges with count 1. On failure to report striking count 5, yeah, that's also merging. Count 6, seatbelt violation, that would be time served of 38 days. For the misdemeanor possession of an invalid or no license, your sentence is going to be 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. And those will be the 3 convictions that will go on your record. You are to report to Fulton County Probation twice a month for the first 6 months. If you get arrested again for anything else, if you are driving while you're on probation, or if you fail to comply with any of the conditions of probation, probation is authorized to revoke your probation and have you serve out the rest of the year in prison. Do you understand? Your driver's license will be suspended for the time that you are on probation, and you're not eligible for reinstatement until you complete your probation satisfactorily. Thank you.
Position number 10, David Elder.
Number 10. Yes, sir.
Are you doing a court order of suspension on that last?
Yeah. Do you have a separate order? Do you have to?
They'll talk about this, but, we had to put an end date for the court order of suspension.
All right. I said when probation ends. Would that be satisfactory? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Sorry. Was that position 10?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. White, how are we proceeding with Mr. Elder?
I believe this is going to be a negotiated plea, Judge.
All right. State versus David Elder, accused of criminal trespass from April 24th of this year. Case
That's-
number 20. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot for 1 second. I wasn't able to speak with him yesterday. I think maybe Mr. Haddad spoke with him this morning. Is this one?
No, Tom, sorry.
Oh, no worries. Judge, I'm going to need to talk to him on the phone before we handle it.
Deputy in courtroom 2, can you arrange for Mr. Elder to speak with Mr. Tom White? I don't know whether y'all are going to call Mr. White or Mr. White has to call the courtroom 2.
I can call them.
All right.
And while we're waiting, Judge, I believe that felony transfer request for Rico Williams was denied. The others were accepted, but that one was denied. So if we could have a reset for that, we'll provide an offer.
Pick it up.
Hello?
Judge, I have position number 12, Ms. Forston.
Okay. Did I reset Rico Williams to
Yes, Your
April
Honor.
to next week? All right.
ma'am.
Was that Miss Kim's client?
Yes, Your Honor.
I need to talk to him then.
All right. So you still good with next Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. All right. position number 10, I'm sorry, Francois, who do you have?
Position number 12, Ms.
Well,
Forston.
yeah. Ms. K. This is State versus Ms. Kiera Forston, Fourrston, accused of 2 counts of battery family violence from April 24th of this year, accusation 25 CR 2154A. Ms. Forston, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is going to be Mr. Haddad. Mr. Haddad, is this going to be a not guilty plea?
Your Honor, we're requesting to be heard on a bond reduction. Depending on how it goes, we may be able to resolve it this morning, Judge.
Okay, let me see. This was from April 24th. So I'm just trying to see who did first appearance on this matter.
It was written as a good bond, Judge, so I'm gonna take a swing and assume it's Judge Morrow, but I will check.
Okay, there's a $1,500 good bond and Judge Williams. Okay, so 2 counts of battery family violence. I'm sorry, it's 1,500 surety bond, so it's 1,500. Yes, Mr. Haddad, this was back on April 25th, so less than 3 weeks ago. Why am I reconsidering bond?
Judge, on behalf of Ms. Forston, the incident location where it happened was actually her residence. The alleged victim is currently incarcerated here in Fulton County on a burglary charge that is pending. She has a history, and I was not the attorney that handled that first appearance. She's always working. She has a CDL license. She was last worked as a bus driver for MARTA up until she was arrested. There might be some self-defense issues in this particular case, although you never know with a jury trial. I'm simply requesting for her to be released through pretrial services and to maintain to stay away from Mr. Tillman, but it is her home. His name is not on the lease, and of course he's currently incarcerated anyway. So that's the reason I'm requesting a change in the bond conditions.
But he wasn't arrested as a result of this. So, I mean, this wasn't a cross arrest, right?
That was not a cross arrest. That's correct.
Okay, and I'm so sorry, I didn't do first appearance, so give me a moment. Looks like intent punch, bloody laceration above right eye, bit him on the left bicep.
And they do live together at the incident location, Judge. We confirmed that with him when we spoke with him at prior to SEA. So.
And what's a GCIC? If pretrial is available, that'd be great. Ms. Hardy?
Yes, Your Honor. This defendant just has 2 arrest cycles, no convictions to report at this time.
Okay.
That that previous arrest cycle, that one was for a battery family violence from 2022 involving a different victim with whom she was living at the time, where she was arrested for grabbing that victim by his hair, forcing him to the ground, hitting him and attacking him with a stick on the ground. That case was ultimately dead docketed when state could not proceed, I believe, as of the trial date. Presumably evidentiary issues, but nonetheless, this would be her second battery family violence case. With that and with the gravity of the injuries here and what's alleged, the state has concern for the victim's safety when he is ultimately released, assuming he will be. Given the history here, there is a risk of reoffense. As such, we would request that the bond remain as set at $1,500 surety. We think that's appropriate. And that is all for the state.
Mr. Haddad, do you have the case number of the alleged victim? Who was it? John Tillman? You
Yes, I
said
do,
he's been
Judge.
arrested for burglary?
Yes, Judge, I do. The case number is 25 PI 003499. And he has been in custody since April 30th, Judge.
And regardless of whether he is released tomorrow or a week from now or 2 weeks from now.
Oh, no, I totally agree. They have to stay away from each other.
I'm not asking.
Just, it's just a bit of a pickle when he gets himself into trouble as well. He's
But
got a
that-
motion to reduce bond. Let me see where they got reduced. He's got a hearing on May 23rd. He's got a $5,000 surety bond.
Regardless of what he has going on, Judge, I don't think that's dispositive here. I think we can assume that or we would have to presume functionally that he would eventually be released and would be returning to the home. And in any case, we can't be ousting victims from their homes for cases like this.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood. Mr. Haddad, does your client understand that as a result of this domestic violence arrest, that she'll be required to stay away from the location until the victim permanently vacates the property or she files a dispossessory action?
John, I can instruct her that. Yes, Judge, she's aware. We discussed that.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Forston, your bond is going to be amended as follows. For the battery, count 1 is going to be $2,000. For count 2 is going to be $2,000. Your total bond is going to be $4,000. It is a signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. You are to report, once you sign up for this bond, you will need to attend the pretrial orientation, and then you'll be required to report to pretrial services twice a month. At all times, you are to have no further contact with John Tillman. You'll be required to stay away from 3110 Godby Road in College Park because the alleged victim, Mr. Tillman, apparently still lives at that property. And if he's released on bond after May 23rd, he has a right to return to that location. You, of course, have a right to file a dispossessory action if you wish to take possession of the property. However, if both you and Mr. Tillman on a lease, that's going to be problematic. You are permitted to return. You are allowed to return to the Godby Road apartment one time only with a police officer to retrieve your belongings. Gather you have a child as well there.
Your Honor,
All right, you can retrieve your child or children as well. And within 30 days of being released, you must provide us with a new mailing address in court in writing. You cannot return to that apartment.
My name on the lease.
Well,
It's my name on the lease. He's not on my lease. He was just supposed to be there to help me out. He's the one who's saying that he wouldn't leave. And I
Miss Forston, Miss Forston, this is not your first rodeo with a battery charge. First, keep that in mind. Second thing you have to keep in mind is it doesn't matter even if you own the property, if you own it, lock, stock, and barrel. If Mr. Tillman lives there and he's a victim of a battery domestic violence case in which you are the defendant, you are required to stay away.
Your Honor, if I may, I'll ask.
Let me finish first. Let me finish. I'll be glad to let you interject. So do you understand that part, Ms. Forston? I gather you do. Like I said, within 30 days of being released and placed on pretrial services, you don't have to pay for your bond, but you'll have to comply with this condition. If you return to the apartment and you live in that apartment, that's considered a violation, and I can revoke that $4,000 signature bond, and you're back to a surety bond. Do you understand? You are not allowed to communicate with Mr. Tillman. You're not to call him, see him, communicate with him to a third party, and try to contact him through a phone or speak to him in person. Do you understand? Within 60 days of being released on your signature bond, you will enroll and complete a domestic violence intervention program. That's going to be a condition of your pretrial bond. This is a 26-week program, and you will enroll in those classes and complete all 26 classes at your expense without missing or skipping any classes. You're not allowed to own or possess any firearms. You're not to consume any alcohol and no illegal drugs. Is that understood? So please make sure you report to pretrial twice a month. You now have a signature bond. Your case is going to be further noticed for trial. And please keep in mind, do not give pretrial services an excuse for them to have your bond revoked. Thank you. Mr. Haddad, what did you want to say?
Donna, I was just going to ask Ms. Francois if she can call courtroom 2. I just want to explain to her, my client, what this possessor means. That's all, Judge.
She can always contact you after she's released.
I understand, Judge.
Thank you.
We're gonna go back to position number 10, Mr. Older.
Judge, that'll be a negotiated plea.
Thank you. All right, David Elder is represented by Tom White, case 25 CR 2178B, accused of criminal trespass. Mr. Elder, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Scirocco?
Thank you, Judge. For the criminal trespass, in this case, 12 months to serve 28 days. Credit for time served 14 days, balance probated, 8-week anger management course, no further contact with Nicholas Chavaria, that's Chavarria. Stay away from 3083 Remington Street in East Point, 40 hours community service. We would ask the court sound for Nicholas Chavaria when appropriate, and we would ask the defense stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID for purposes of the plea.
Okay. Nicholas Chavaria, if you're on Zoom, you can unmute and start your video. Mr. White, do you so stipulate?
We do, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Elder, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
Only Tylenol.
Okay. Are you still able to understand what's going on in your case?
Yes,
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
yes,
Are you entering this plea freely, willingly, and knowingly?
yes,
Do you understand that you would have to waive your right to a trial? You will not go back to court to confront your accuser, challenge evidence brought against you, present your own defenses and arguments, and have the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
yes,
How do you plead to one count of criminal trespass from April 24th of this year?
guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days. If you have no other holds at the jail, you'll be released, but you must report to Fulton County Probation before 3 p.m. on Monday, May 12th. While on probation, you will complete 8 anger management classes, and you must enroll into those classes within 60 days of being released. You're also to complete 40 hours of community service with any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school, and you must complete a minimum of 5 hours per month. At all times, you're to have no contact with Nicholas Chavaria. You are to stay 200 yards away from him and not communicate with him in any way, form, or manner, and stay away from 3083 Remington Street in East Point, Georgia. Do you have any reason to return to that location?
No, I do walk down the street. That's my house where I live. So I'll stay away from him.
What do you
I
mean that's
believe
your,
they are neighbors, Judge. His address is 3090 Remington Street, so it seems to be just down the way. So that's why we would ask the court emphasizes the importance of a stay away here.
if you're walking, you keep on walking. You don't look at him, you don't talk to him, you don't address him or acknowledge him. You just keep on walking. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. What if
Don't give us a reason to have you back in jail.
Okay.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Right.
All right. That's easy.
Judge, I have position number 27. Schott Leutner.
Okay. Mr. Haddad, this is still going to be a plea?
Yes, Judge.
All right, case 25 CR 2175D, State versus Joanna Schott Leutner, accused of criminal trespass, simple battery against an officer, and simple assault from April 25th, 2025. Ms. Schott Leutner, if you've been advised of your rights, your attorney is Mr. Haddad. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Westman?
Thank you, Your Honor. As to count 1, it will be 12 months probation, concurrent with count 2, a stay away from the Hotel Granada Midtown at 1302 West Peachtree Street, Northwest Atlanta. Count 2, 12 months probation to serve 26 days, credit for time served 13 days, balance probated, 12 weeks anger management, and 20 hours of community service. As to count 3, 12 months probation, concurrent with count 2, no further contact with Matthew Iacobucci and an MHT. At this point, we would sound for Mr. Matthew Iacobucci.
Matthew, are you on Zoom? This will be the time to unmute and start your video. Okay.
Okay, we would like to defense to stipulate to factual basis, ID, and venue. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Haddad?
Judge, we stipulate, we just ask the court to follow the negotiated plea.
Ms. Schott Leutner, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
I have not.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
I do, Your Honor. I did have one question, and that is this considered a misdemeanor or is it considered a felony in my plea of guilty?
These 3 charges, if you decide to plead guilty, will show up on your criminal history record as 3 separate misdemeanor convictions.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your legal services?
I am.
And has it been explained to you that if you decide to plead guilty to these 3 misdemeanor charges, you would have to give up your right to a trial before a judge or a jury? You will not be able to return to a court of law to confront your accusers, to challenge the evidence regarding this case, to be able to present your legal defenses arguments through counsel, and to have the state carry its burden to prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
I am, Your Honor.
How do you plead to criminal trespass, simple battery against an officer, and simple assault?
Guilty, Your Honor.
On the trespass, your sentence is going to be 12 months probation concurrent with count 2, and you'll be required to stay away from the Hotel Granada Midtown at 1302 West Peachtree Street in Atlanta. Do you have any reason to return to that hotel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. With regards to the simple battery, count 2, your sentence is 12 months to serve 26 days, credit for time served 13 days. If you have no other cases holding you at the jail, you'll be released, but you must report to Fulton County Probation on Monday, May 12th, before 3 p.m. While you're on probation, you will complete 12 anger management classes, and you must enroll in those classes within 60 days of being released. You're also to do 20 hours of community service with any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. And you're to do your community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. With regard to simple assault, count 3, your sentence is 12 months concurrent with count 2. You are to stay away and have no contact with Matthew Iacobucci. Is the MH still required?
Yes, Judge, there was, if I am correct here, there's a basis for it, if you want me to go into it, I believe.
No, I'm just wondering whether that was a negotiated condition.
Was, Judge, I did explain to her that she needs to get an evaluation, Judge.
Okay, so then she will enroll and undertake an MH evaluation and submit to any treatment. This MH evaluation must be done within 30 days of being released. Okay, Ms. Schotluner, while you're on probation, you must maintain a current address in Georgia, report every month, and make sure you complete your conditions. Thank you.
Position number 20, Mr. Sheets.
Repeat, Deputy.
Number 29, Sheets.
Okay.
No.
This is State versus Christopher Sheets, accused of criminal trespass on April 23rd of this year, case 25 CR 2130G. Mr. Sheets, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Ms. Kim. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Kim? Just want to be sure you are on Zoom.
She's on the phone talking to one of her clients.
Position 29, Christopher Sheets.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, she's, I apologize, she's on the phone apparently with courtroom 2 with one of her clients.
Would she be able to step in and do this?
Hold on,
Hold on. Get back on. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Ms. Kim, I'm sorry, I just have one plea to
It's
take
okay.
and then you can resume your conversation. We are addressing Christopher Sheets, position 29, accused of criminal trespass.
Yes, I
Okay,
it is negotiated plea, Your Honor.
okay. Ms. Westman, what's the recommendation?
Your Honor, it is 12 months probation to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days, balance probated, a stay away from Phipps Plaza at 3500 Peachtree Road, Atlanta, and 40 hours of community service. We would ask the defense to stipulate to ID, venue, and factual basis.
Ms. Kim, do you so stipulate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sheets, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am. I understand that there's been 3 lawsuits for the Phipps Plaza location for within a time basis of when you were there, if you didn't have a bed made at the trespassing location.
Sir.
Not a bed made at a bench. And I'm gonna hold the jury trial.
And you should be saying yes or no. You have a right to remain silent. We don't want to disclose any more information.
I'm going to trial.
Judge, we're just on our plea of not guilty.
Okay. We will plead not guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Kim, if you can submit, would you be filing a waiver then?
Yes, we will.
Okay.
do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Christopher Sheets' case is going to be further notice for trial pursuant to a waiver of arraignment. Thank you.
Number 11, Mr. Evans.
All right, Ms. Kim, if you need to continue your conversation with your client, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, I'm gonna step in on Mr. Evans. I'm handling this case. It'll be negotiated plea.
All right, Mr. Haddad.
Thank you.
MacArthur Evans Jr. is accused of simple assault, family violence, and simple battery, family violence from April 22nd of this year, case 25 CR 2135B. Mr. Evans, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney at the present time is going to be Mr. Haddad, who's going to assist with the plea hearing. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Skaroka?
Thank you, Judge. For count 1, it's the simple assault, family violence. 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. That is April 23rd, 2025 to present. Balance probated for him to complete FFIP. Have no further contact with, I want to make sure I'm saying this right, Aljalon Walker. Stay away from 2178 Bolingbrookes Drive, Southwest Atlanta. Count 2, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. That's for the simple battery family violence. No further contact with Mackenzie Walker. 40 hours of community service, MHET, ADET, and for him to have no firearms while out on probation for this case. We have spoken with the mother of the victims, their younger children. Well, Miss Aljalon is 18, and then the other victim, Mackenzie, is 14. We would ask to sound for Miss Evans on Miss Mackenzie's behalf and for Miss Aljalon Walker when appropriate, but Miss Evans, from our contact, that she does want contact with the defendant because she says he is like a dad to them. Even though I don't believe they're his children. It's and she does not want to stay away, but we are asking for both. And I can go into the if we
in
need
the
to.
in the first appearance order, Judge Morrow ordered no further violent contact. So has there something transpired between then and now?
No, Judge, I don't see anything from then and now, but for the time being, we would have to go into MH issues. I'm not sure if you want to do a breakout room for me to substantiate that. And our concerns here, we wouldn't, until that's complete, that and the ADET, we wouldn't want further contacts outright with the victims in this case.
Mr. Haddad, can you shed some light as to whether, I don't know whether any of the alleged victims have contacted you with regards to contact with the defendant?
No, Judge, I've not had any contact with anybody. I actually just spoke to my client this morning, Judge. I communicated to him what the recommendation is, that the recommendation is a stay away. So that's the only discussion we had, and he indicated he wanted to resolve the case. I was unaware, of course, of the bond condition, and of course, what the one of those state witnesses wants. At this point, all I know is I communicated stay away. He understood and he wished to resolve the case. So.
And he will stay away from the family home? He's got somewhere else to live? Is that what he's agreed to?
Yes, Judge. He did indicate to me earlier that he's got a place to stay other than that particular home.
Where?
So I guess where you're gonna be living at.
4289 Kimball Road.
Repeat that?
4289 Kimball Road.
4289.
Kimball.
I can't hear what.
Kimball.
I believe it's Kimball. It's Kimball, Kimball.
Road.
Oh, Kimball. What?
What city is that?
So that's Southwest.
Southwest, Judge, Atlanta. I don't know what the zip code is.
30331.
30331, Judge.
30331. Is there a unit number?
Oh, that's a house.
And whose house is it?
It's a rental. I'm renting it for someone.
You're renting it from somebody. Okay. Do you have a written lease with this person?
I will have one when I get released. I already don't talk to him.
Okay. Mr. Scirocco, I don't see any changes from other than, and the victims are not here. Any of the walkers on Zoom? Aljalon or Mackenzie? Okay. I'll agree to no further violent contact with Aljalon Walker and Mackenzie Walker. If they want to have contact with Mr. Evans, it will be no further violent contact, but he'll be required to stay away from 2178 Bowling Brooks Drive, Southwest Atlanta, for the time that he's on probation. And one of the other requirements is that he'll need to produce a written lease agreement to the probation officer to confirm his address within 30 days of being released.
Okay, we're ready, Judge.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Scirocco?
No, Judge, I believe I covered it all. I'm happy to go over the recommendation again if you want though.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Alright.
And I understand that you'll be requiring 40 hours community service, MHET, ADAT, and no firearms for count
As
two.
well as FFIP, Judge. It's a family violence case.
Yeah, you've got it for count one.
Great, okay.
Okay. Mr. Haddad, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
You stipulate, Judge.
Mr. Evans, have you consumed, or not yet? Have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
Oh, man.
Have you understood now what's going on in your case and what's the recommended sentence if I accept your plea?
Yes,
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
yes,
And has it been explained to you that if you plead guilty to these charges, you would have to give up your right to a trial? You will not go back to a court of law to confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, be able to present your own legal arguments and present your defenses through an attorney, and have the state prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
yes,
How do you plead to simple assault, family violence, and simple battery, family violence?
guilty.
On the assault, your sentence is 12 months to serve 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. You'll report to probation on Monday, May 12th before 3 p.m. And while on probation, you will complete a domestic violence intervention program. You must enroll in that program within 30 days of being released. At all times, you're to have no further violent contact with Aljalon Walker, but you'll be required to stay away from 2178 Bowling Brooks Drive in Southwest Atlanta, and you must produce a written lease of your new residence to your probation officer within 30 days of being released. On simple battery, it's going to be 12 months concurrent with count one. No further violent contact with Mackenzie Walker. 40 hours of community service to be done at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month with any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. You're also to undertake a MH evaluation and treatment within 30 days of being released, and alcohol and drug evaluation and treatment within 30 days of being released. At all times, you're not to own, possess, or have any firearms near you. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that concludes your plea. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Position 31, Rodney Thompson.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I do have a quick announcement for courtroom 2 for Mr. Haddad. Mr. Haddad, are you going to be available? Because I was trying to call you.
Yeah, I'm
And
ready.
then when I called, yeah, they hung up the phone, whoever answered the phone.
Okay, I'm ready.
Is Ms. Kim available, please?
Yes, Your Honor, I am available.
Thank you. This is State versus Rodney Eugene Thompson, accused of battery from April 17th of 2024. His accusation is 25 CR 002041G. Mr. Thompson, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Kim, who is on the screen. I understand this is going to be a plea. May I place you under oath? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Good morning.
Thank you. Ms. Westman?
Yes, Your Honor. The plea is, excuse me, 12 months to serve 120 days credit for time served 22 days, balance probated, 12 weeks anger management, 40 hours community service, no further contact with Gregory Chambers. We would sound for Mr. Chambers at this point. Okay, we would then ask the defense to stipulate to factual basis ID and venue.
Yes, we do stipulate so.
All right. Mr. Thompson, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently? Was that a no?
Well,
And have you understood what's going on in your case?
well,
You're not gonna get a signature.
What was that response?
yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to plead guilty to this battery charge, you would have to give up your right to a trial. You will not be able to go back to court to confront your accuser, present your own legal defenses and arguments, have your attorney assist you to challenge the evidence brought against you, and the prosecutor won't have to prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Has that been explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you prepared to waive these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to one count of battery?
You-
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 120 days, credit for time served 22 days, which means that you have 38 more days to serve at the Fulton County Jail. Once you've completed these additional 38 days, you will then report to Fulton County Probation on the first available Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. You must report within 48 hours of being released. On probation, you will complete 12 anger management classes, and you must begin those classes within 60 days of being released. You will do 40 hours of community service at any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. And you must do your community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. At all times, you're to have no contact with Gregory Chambers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. That's absolutely right. Oh.
Number 28, Mr. Sessions.
Ms. Kim, do you need to speak to Mr. Sessions?
I already spoke to him. His announcement is not guilty. I'll file a waiver of arraignment, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Sessions' case is 25 CR 1629E. Corey Sessions accused of terroristic threats and acts. Mr. Sessions, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. Ms. Kim will be entering a not guilty plea on your behalf, and your case is further noticed for trial. Thank you.
Question, ma'am. And this for the terrorist threat, right?
Yes.
Misdemeanor count of terroristic threats and acts.
This is the reason why I asked y'all, because this is my first time speaking with her. I never saw her, so that's why I was asking, because I was like, I didn't even know what I was coming to court for. I've been locked up 3.5 months, so I didn't even know what I was coming. I didn't know.
Would you like to talk to me again? Because the way I understood that you wanted to plead not guilty.
Oh, yes, I'm pleading not guilty. Yes, because I had asked you over the phone, ma'am. I've been locked up for a month since February. You know, I just can't take that plea. So I really go to trial.
This is, he had his first appearance on this case back on, well, this was an accusation, but let me see what's going on.
That was a transfer from Superior Court, Judge.
Okay. So he was booked into the jail on multiple felony charges on February 25th, 2023, and he was released after a plea on April 10th, 2023. And then he was rebooked into Fulton County Jail on March 16th, 2024, and received a felony bond of $25,000, and he was released on bond on April 10th, 2024. Then Mr. Sessions, you were arrested again on March 3rd, 2025 on a probation violation. I'm assuming that's from Superior Court.
No, ma'am.
And you've been in custody now for 67 days. You also have that open case for terroristic threats and acts, which apparently has been reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor. So it's been transferred from Superior Court to the state court as a misdemeanor charge for the terroristic threats and acts from December 26, 2023. That's the incident date. However, you are currently incarcerated at the Fulton County Jail because you also have a felony probation hold.
So, ma'am, I understand that, yes.
All right. So now do you understand why you're in jail?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
All right. And so we will reset your Terroristic Threats Act for jail jury. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, position 13, Tyrone Harris, and he's going pro se.
This is State versus Tyrone Harris, case number 25 CR 002224Y. Mr. Harris is accused of criminal trespass from April 28th, 2025. Mr. Harris, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of your case during the course of this proceeding, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one would be appointed to represent you, and you'll be represented by an individual who understands the criminal rules, procedures, and the law. However, if you choose to waive your right to be represented by counsel and choose to represent yourself, then you are responsible for understanding the rules, law regarding the crime of which you've been charged, and that you are responsible for any legal decision and its impact upon your circumstances, including your freedom, your job, any professional licenses you may have, or any other open cases you have. I understand that you want to represent yourself. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the consequences of representing yourself?
No.
I'm sorry, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You had your first appearance on April 29th of this year, and you received a surety bond of $1,000. Good bond with requirement to stay away from the Greyhound bus station at 232 Forsyth Street. How would you like to proceed with your case today? Are you entering a plea of not guilty and requesting a trial? Or have you considered a plea offer and want to enter a plea in exchange for a recommended sentence?
I'm trying to get what you're trying to say, because also I had a criminal trespassing. I spent 4.5 months before that last criminal trespass I just had, and I already had the surety / guarantee bond, which I have now as a royal. As a
You were booked in on criminal trespass from a December 25th, 2024 incident. You were booked into the Fulton County Jail on Christmas Day of last year, and you were released on April 25th, 2025. 3 days after being released from Fulton County Jail, you have been arrested and charged again with a new criminal trespass charge. So if you're asking me to give you a signature bond, that's denied. If you're asking me to dismiss the charge, that is denied. So again, I'm asking you, would you like to plead not guilty and have a trial? Or would you like to consider a plea offer from the prosecutor?
All right, what's the plea? What's the plea?
Mr. Scirocco, what is the plea offer?
It is 12 months to serve 22 days, credit for time served 11 days. This is for position 13, correct, Judge?
Correct.
That is from April 28th, 2025 to present, for him to complete behavioral health evaluation and any recommended treatment, and for him to stay away from the Greyhound bus station located at 232 Forsyth Street. in Atlanta.
All right, Mr. Harris, you'll be placed on probation for 12 months.
I'm not from Atlanta. I'm a sovereign citizen. I'm a royal sovereign. I got paperwork.
Well, even if you're a sovereign citizen or a citizen of the moon, you'll still be placed on probation.
Understandable. Well, if I have non-monetary conditions, which I use the state treasury fund to pay for everything, what does that entail?
I don't understand the question.
I have non-monetary conditions in a state that I've never been into. What does that entail for other jurisdictions that follows the Commonwealth state?
I don't understand the question, so I don't know how to answer it. The only question I want answered is whether you want to have a trial or whether you want to consider this plea offer. All right, we will return to your case. You may have a seat and ponder the question. Next case, please.
Petition number 30, Mr. Tanner.
30? Okay.
Keep going, Rose.
I'm sorry, is this James Tanner?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Say please. Your Honor.
Understood. Thank you, Ms. Kim. James, Jaymes Tanner, common spelling, is accused of simple battery against an officer and disorderly conduct. Case number 25 CR 002-163A. Mr. Tanner, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is Ms. Kim. May I place you under oath for purposes of the plea? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Ma'am.
All right.
I think he's going pro se, Judge.
Yes.
Oh, is he pro se? Okay, sorry, I didn't catch that. Mr. Tanner, in addition to your right to remain, you can put your hand up. In addition to your right to remain silent, you also have a right to counsel. If you cannot afford one, one would be appointed to represent you. However, if you waive your right to counsel, you are responsible for any legal decision you make, and you are responsible for understanding the law as it applies to the facts of your case. Would you like to be represented by counsel, or would you like to waive your counsel and represent yourself?
I'd like to represent myself.
Okay. How would you like to proceed with your case, given the two charges brought against you?
I will plead guilty.
All right. And have you reviewed the plea offer from the state?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Please raise your right hand. Oh, by the way, have you reviewed the documents and signed them?
I haven't signed nothing yet.
Okay, so you've not reviewed the offer and you've not.
I reviewed it. I know what my plea is.
I know, but I still need the documents. I will accept your plea, but I need it verified by the fact that you've reviewed the documents, you've checked off the appropriate questions, and you've signed off, and also signed off on your waiver of counsel. Ms. Kim, would you by any chance have the documents to present to Mr. Tanner to consider?
I'll be happy to provide that.
Okay, are you in the location to be able to give it to him?
No, I was going to email to the officer at the court and maybe they can.
S blunt, please. Send it to S blunt.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay. All right, Mr. Tanner, until you receive the documents and they're signed off, I cannot address your case. Thank you. The documents are being emailed to courtroom 2 and you'll get a chance to review them.
We're gonna do add-on number 1, Mr. Dobbs.
Okay. This is Scott Allen Dobbs, D-O-B-B-S, case number 25 CR 2286J. Mr. Scott Allen Dobbs is accused of criminal trespass from May 1st, 2025. Mr. Dobbs, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. Who's this? Mr. White, are you representing Mr. Dobbs?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I made an announcement, but I was muted. I don't know that anybody has spoken with him yet. He was reset from our calendar on Tuesday. I believe they had problems finding him. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but I'll speak with him if no one else has.
I understand that he was reset in order to have a social worker visit. Do you know if that's been done?
Your Honor, I did not know of that.
Your Honor, if I may interject, let me just take over from here. Let me talk to my client, and we have a social worker here. I'll find out what's going on, and I'll report back to the court.
Any problem, Mr. White?
No, none at all, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Haddad, you will confer and we will hold off on Dobbs. Next case, please. I have a case at South Annex. Anybody know anything about that?
These resets, we had some issues with South Annex Tuesday, Judge. I don't know.
Okay, well, since these technical hiccups have been resolved, Deputy at South Annex, who do we have there, please?
We have Keandre Logan.
Keandre Logan. Okay.
Conflict Judge, position 18.
All right, sir, and this is with Conflict Counsel. And Deputy, do we know who is representing Mr. Logan? Or has he spoken to an attorney?
No, ma'am, he hasn't.
Okay. Let me just make sure one thing. Okay. I'm going to reset this case to what's next Thursday, the 15th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to reset this case to May 15th, 2025 at 9 a.m. I'm going to appoint Miss Maureen McLeod to represent Mr. Logan. Mr. Logan, please don't forget this name. Your attorney's name is Maureen McLeod. You got that?
Yes, ma'am. Can I ask what this case is for?
This case is one in which you're charged with simple battery from April 3rd,
Oh,
2025.
I already got that handled. Yeah, they gave me a
Okay,
bond.
let me see.
They gave me a bond for that.
Well, have you made bond?
Yeah, I just gotta pay the bond. That's it. I've been arrested. I'm in custody. I just gotta pay the bond. It's $100. That's it.
You have a $1,000 bond, correct? And you would have to pay whatever the bonding company requires in
Yes.
order to bond out. And let me see. You have a $1,000 bond on this one, and you also have felony charges in which you were booked in on April 3rd, 2025.
Yes.
All right. So did you want to address this misdemeanor case through an attorney next Thursday?
No, I already pled guilty and everything to it.
I believe he's thinking about the other one, Judge, because he's set to serve, from my records, a 5-year sentence for the felony case, unless I'm wrong.
I don't know what's going on in the felony case, but I can tell you, Mr. Logan, you have never pled anything to the charge of simple battery from April 3rd, 2025.
Yes, I did. I had a public defender now. That's how I know the bond was $100. It was $1,000.
Your Honor, I mean, maybe it'd be best for Ms. McLeod to sort this out.
Okay, Mr. Logan, there's going to be no prejudice to you for me to reset the case to next Thursday. If you've already pled to the felony case, then you'll be clearly serving a sentence at the present time. But for this misdemeanor charge, keep in mind, this misdemeanor charge, Attorney Maureen McLeod is going to speak with you, and you can clarify with her whether you pled to the simple battery charge or whether you were given a bond on the simple battery charge. There is a difference. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you on May 15th at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy.
You're welcome. Thank you, Judge.
Courtroom 2, who do we have?
Position 6, Mr. Daltrey.
And Your Honor, I've taken over this case as well. It's going to be a negotiated plea. And
All right.
I've sent you an email on the add-on.
All right. If you're covering for Mr. White's cases, he owes you like a king-size Kit Kat at this point, okay? But Stanley Dougherty is accused of criminal trespass from April 23rd of this year. Case number 25 CR 2148J. Mr. Dougherty, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Mr. Haddad. This is going to be a plea, Mr. Haddad?
Yes, Judge, it is a negotiated plea, Judge. I went over the plea terms with him earlier this morning.
Thank you. Mr. Dougherty, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Skirocco, what's the recommendation?
For the count of criminal trespass, 12 months served 30 days, credit for time served 15 days, balance probated, for him to complete an OP 21 law and decision-making course, 40 hours of community service, and stay away from the Shell located at 3160 Greenbrier Parkway, Southwest Atlanta. And we would ask the defense stipulate to factual basis, venue, and ID for purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Judge?
Mr. Dougherty, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you were arrested at a Shell gas station out on Greenbrier Parkway. Do you recall that?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you prepared to stay away from that location?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Also, if you decide to plead guilty to this charge, you would have to give up your right to a trial. You will not be going back to a court of law to face your accuser, challenge evidence brought against you, be able to present any legal arguments or defenses to a jury, and have the state prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to criminal trespass at this Shell gas station?
I plead guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 15 days. If you have no other holds, you'll be released within 24 hours. But on Monday, May 12th, before 3 p.m., you must report to the Fulton County Probation Office. And you must, while you're on probation, you have a couple of classes to do, a couple of things to do. First thing you have to do is enroll in an OP 21 law and decision-making course. Your probation officer will advise you of where you have to take this class and how much it will cost. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
This class is going to help you make better decisions in the future. You will also be required to undertake 40 hours of community service at any nonprofit agency, but it cannot be a church and it cannot be a school. And you must do a minimum of 5 hours per month. At all times, you are to stay away from the Shell gas station at 3160 Greenbrier Parkway in Southwest Atlanta. If you return to that gas station, if you are inside the store, at the parking lot, at the sidewalk, they will arrest you and you get to serve at least 1 year in jail for this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't forget to report to probation. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, Ms. Kim, can you check the chat, please?
Deputy in courtroom 2, have you received the plea paperwork?
No.
All right.
That's what we were trying to find out now. Can Ms. Kim check the chat, please?
I'm still working on it. I apologize. I'm still working on it.
All right, no problem, Ms. Kim. Just make sure you include the waiver of counsel with the form, okay?
Thank you. Third page.
No rush, no pressure, don't worry. Okay. Is there a Wesley Solomon on Zoom? Oh. Okay, who's in courtroom 2?
Position 35, Mr. Williams.
Okay. All right, we're going to go to position 35. Meanwhile, is there a Wesley Solomon on Zoom? Okay. Alonzo Williams Jr. is accused of failure to use a signal lane change or turn, willful obstruction of an officer, and fleeing or attempting to elude an officer from a traffic incident of April 24th of this year. Accusation 25 CR 2167Y. Mr. Williams, you've been advised of your right to remain silent, and your attorney is Ms. Kim. May I place you under oath for the plea? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Westman, what's the recommendation?
Your Honor, for count 1, 12 months probation concurrent with count 3 and a $100 fine. Count 2 is 12 months probation concurrent with count 3 and a $300 fine. Count 3 is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance probated $1,000 fine, and 40 hours of community service. At this point, we would ask the defense to stipulate to factual basis, ID, and venue. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Haddad, I'm sorry, Ms. Kim, do you so stipulate?
Yes, we do stipulate so.
All right, thank you. Mr. Williams, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
I got one question. I understand, but
Please ask me a question. You are more than welcome to call me.
Ms. Kim, the probation, I still got the hold out of, how does that work if I got the hold out of Texas with the probation situation?
Falls, Texas.
Yeah, I don't know how, because I still got to be transferred out there, so I don't want to violate anything out here, still knowing I have the hold out there. How does that work?
Ms. Kim, does he have an open case and is he being extradited to Texas?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he waived extradition?
I haven't had extradition paperwork yet, ma'am.
Okay. Well, if you have a hold that is subject, oh yeah, you have a fugitive hold. Okay. Well, you will not be released from prison from the jail after you take this plea. This probation will be stayed until you resolve your issues in Texas and you're released. Then you'll need to come back to Georgia and begin your probation.
Right, that was my plan was once I got to Texas and got that out the way, I planned on coming back to Georgia, period. But I was just making sure I wouldn't be violated in any situation, considering that I do still have open cases in Texas.
All right. If you accept this plea offer, your total fine would be $1,400 and to do 40 hours of community service. So if you complete these conditions, once you've resolved your holds, then your probation will terminate and this case will close. However, just FYI, given these charges, your license could be suspended. So you may not be able to drive until you reinstate your license.
Understood. I have a wonderful driver right here on screen.
But if you plead to these charges, your license could be suspended.
Yes, ma'am. I understand, Judge.
Okay. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Kim.
And has it been explained to you that if you plead guilty to these charges, in addition to a possible license suspension by the appropriate Department of Driver Services, you would also have to waive your right to a trial. You will not get the opportunity to go back to court, confront your accuser, challenge the evidence brought against you, be able to present your own legal defenses and arguments through counsel, and have the state prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to failure to signal lane change or turn, willful obstruction of an officer, and fleeing or attempting to elude an officer?
I'll charge you guilty, ma'am.
I beg your pardon?
Guilty.
For count 1, it's going to be 12 months probation concurrent with count 3 with a $100 fine. Count 2 is going to be 12 months probation concurrent with count 3, a $300 fine. And for the fleeing or attempting to elude, it's going to be 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance probated. Once you have resolved all holds, you'll be required to report to probation immediately within 48 hours of being released, and you may report on a Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. While on probation, you will pay an additional $1,000 fine for count 3 and complete 40 hours of community service at any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. Once you have paid off your $1,400 fine in total, you are current with your probation fees and you have completed 40 hours of voluntary community service, your probation will terminate. No driving unless you have a valid driver's license, adequate insurance, and proper registration. Thank you.
Got position 39, Judge. Mr.
Okay.
Wright.
Who represents Mr. Wright? Do we have conflict counsel on Zoom? Mr. Wright, have you spoken to an attorney?
No.
Please speak up. Have you spoken to an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you speak with?
The gentleman right here, ma'am.
Yeah. Your Honor, I had sounded earlier, but I did not actually speak to him since it's a conflict case. And Judge, that conflict was spotted after first appearance.
Yeah, I noticed that. All right, the plea offer would require him to do additional jail time. Mr. Dominic Wright, you have a right to remain silent about the facts and circumstances of your case. Anything you choose to say can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. Currently, the Public Defender's Office is not allowed to represent you. You have to be appointed with conflict counsel. So I am going to appoint Dennis Murphy to represent you, and your case is going to be scheduled reset to May 15th at 9 a.m. for Mr. Murphy to contact you and speak with you while you're at the jail. You currently have a bond in your case. It's a $2,000 good bond, which you received on April 25th from Judge Williams. So that is your current bond. All right, we will see you on May 15th, and remember your attorney's name, Dennis Murphy. Thank you.
Judge, I got position 40, Mr. Johans.
All right, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor.
Philman Johans is accused of theft by shoplifting and trespass, 25 CR 2170G. How is he proceeding?
He wants to go as a pro se plea, Your Honor. I will also prepare for the paperwork and send it out to Officer Blunt.
Right. Mr. Johans, you've been advised of your right to remain silent. With regards to your right to counsel, you have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, Ms. Kim will be glad to represent you. However, if you choose to waive your right to counsel, then you are responsible for any legal decisions you make, and you are responsible for understanding the law and the rules as they apply to the facts of your case, as well as the impact it may have on any other factors such as other open cases, your professional licenses, your job, and or your residency. With regards to counsel, would you like to be represented by a public defense attorney?
No, Your Honor, I would just like to hear the recommendation, and then most likely, I just want to rehear it, and then I'm most likely just going to plead guilty.
Okay, I'll be glad to do that, but you still need to answer my question. Would you like to be represented by counsel, or do you choose to represent yourself?
I'll represent myself.
Okay, so Ms. Kim will need to, if needed, you need to include the waiver of counsel app form with the plea package. All right, from what I gather from the prosecutor, for the theft by shoplifting, Ms. Westman, what's the recommendation?
The recommendation is 12 months probation to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, balance probated, $500 fine, anti-theft course for a criminal trespass, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1, 40 hours community service, and a stay away from the Kroger at 2452 Morosco Way, Atlanta.
Mr. Johans, if you decide to accept the recommendation, the sentence would be that you would be on probation. You would need to pay a $500 fine, complete an anti-theft class at your expense, do 40 hours of community service, and stay away from the Kroger at Morosco.
Understood. Would the probation be terminated or after completion of the conditions?
Why?
Just asking.
I know, but you need to give me a reason why I should terminate it.
Just, I'm under Mercy Care and
You're under what?
Mercy Care, so I just obtained a job and was just planning how I would proceed around having the obligation of having to continue to report after completing the conditions, the community service, the paying the fine, taking the class, and doing community, all the conditions that was listed. I just want to know if I would have to continue showing up after for 12 months, or after would it be a possibility of it being non-reporting? Just inquiring. That's it.
Okay. Ms. Hardy, may I have Mr. Johans' GCIC?
Yes, Your Honor. I have 27 cycles, arrest cycles in Georgia. There's a 2018 felony conviction for possession of Schedule II controlled substance, 2018 DUI misdemeanor conviction. There's a 2011 criminal trespass where they received first offender and it was sealed in 2017. And bear with me while I continue reviewing the record. There's an FTA from 2014.
Okay. Thank
And
you.
nothing further.
Appreciate it. Ms. Westman, do you have any objection to non-reporting after completion of conditions?
There are a lot of arrests for shoplifting. There's a recent shoplifting that's a bind over. That was a null pros. That was this past year. There was 2012 shoplifting transferred to the cab, a 2011 shoplifting, time expired, a 2010 shoplifting that was dismissed, 2009 shoplifting that was null pros, a 2014 conviction for shoplifting that the defendant pled in North Carolina. No contest.
Okay. Understood. Thank you. All right, Mr. Johans, to the question of whether your probation will terminate or go non-reporting, that would be a definitive no. You will report every month.
Good. Understood.
So how would you like to proceed?
Guilty.
All right, so we'll need to get the plea paperwork to you so you can review it, fill them out, and then we can address your plea hearing.
Yes, ma'am. And I had one more question regarding, I don't know if this, according to the nurse, I've been diagnosed with bipolar 1. Getting the medicine has been not as easy, but she said that this is the appropriate platform to ask the judge upon my release if I can get a supply until I meet up with Mercy Care to prescription. So I don't know if this is the appropriate place. This is what I've been told.
All right. I'm not sure how to address that question. If you're asking me, do you want to be released to get your medication? Yeah, according to this recommended sentence, if you have no other cases holding you, you'll be released within 24 hours. But you'll have to go and obtain your own medication through whatever resource you have.
Okay, all right.
We're not going to give you any medication upon your release.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So please hold, and once the paperwork's with you, you can review it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other cases in courtroom 2?
Yes, Judge, the add-on, Mr. Dobbs, we're ready to proceed with the plea.
Come on, Doug.
Come on up, Mr. Dobbs. And I've exchanged emails with the prosecutor. I don't believe they object to non-reporting once he completes the term or terms.
That's correct.
All right. Scott Dobbs has been charged with criminal trespass 25 CR 002286J, represented by Mr. Haddad. Mr. Dobbs, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Scirocco?
Yes, Judge, for this criminal trespass, it's 12 months to serve 14 days, credit for time served 7 days. That is from the 2nd of May of this year to today. The balance probated, but it can go suspended upon completion of the BHET, which we are asking for. And as part of that as well, is stay away from the Kroger located at 12870 Highway 9 in Alpharetta. We would ask the defense stipulate the factual basis, venue, and ID for purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Judge.
Mr. Dobbs, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
Have you understood what's going on in your case?
Ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you satisfied with your legal services?
Yes.
If you decide to plead guilty to this charge, you would have to be placed on probation. You will also not get an opportunity for a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You won't be able to confront your accuser, challenge evidence brought against you, be able to present your arguments and defenses, and the prosecutor won't have to prove the charge beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yeah.
Was that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to criminal trespass at the Kroger in Alpharetta?
Guilty.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 14 days, credit for time served 7 days. Is that correct? Yeah. You will report to probation on Monday. Your balance is probated. You'll report before 3 p.m. While on probation, you will stay away from the Kroger store at 12870 Highway 9 in Alpharetta, Georgia, which is the location where you were arrested. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
In addition to that, within 30 days of reporting to probation, you will undergo a behavioral health evaluation and submit yourself to any treatment that is required. And this will be at your expense. Once you've completed all treatment and you're up to date with your probation fees, did we agree to non-reporting? We did. Then your probation will be non-reporting. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Tonight or tomorrow?
Is there a Wesley Solomon on Zoom? Please unmute and start your video. Okay. Are there any other matters to address in courtroom 2?
Yes, we just waiting to go back to position 30 and 13.
13 and 30, okay. All right. Who is going to be doing the 11 a.m. competency calendar?
Mr. Bartels, Judge, he's here.
Okay,
And I'll be handling that for the prosecution.
okay.
Hey, good morning, Judge. I'm here.
Good morning, Mr. Bartel. We can only proceed with your case once courtroom 2 is cleared of the other inmates, unless you have a different location.
That's fine.
Okay,
Hey, Judge.
again, I'm going to call for Wesley Solomon.
I'm here, ma'am.
All right, please mute your, Mr. Solomon, you have a right
Yes.
to remain silent about the facts of your case, and anything you choose to say during this virtual proceeding, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one would be appointed to represent you. Do you have an attorney?
No, I know the person that did the charges want to drop them.
And who is that person?
Jasmine Price, my baby mother.
And is she present?
I just sent her the link to the court because I just got it through email like 2 minutes ago. They were supposed to send it a couple of days ago and I never received it. So I just got it. So I just sent it to her.
So you are communicating with Ms. Price?
The TPO is dropped. So after the TPO is supposed to have been dropped a while back after the TPO, but I never got this court date. I never received this court date, which made it a failure to appear. So I ended up going to jail behind it, getting released, and then I had to go back down there to get it rescheduled. I never got a call or through email or a mail court date.
You know, I did tell you you have a right to remain silent, right?
But you just asked me about the case also.
That's
It
fine. He has a
is
no further
no
violent
further violent
contact.
contact, Judge.
All right. Okay, as soon as Jasmine Price pops in, we'll be able to address your case. So please mute your screen and let's go ahead and change his name from Romeo to Wesley Solomon, unless he's playing in a Shakespeare play right now, but I doubt it. So. Okay, Mr. Haddad, who do we have next to you?
I think that's the pro se, Judge.
This is position 30, Mr. Tanner. Officer Blunt is sending the paperwork over to Mr. Jordan. He signed his papers.
Mr. Jordan, have you received paperwork for position 30, which would be James Tanner? Hmm?
Your Honor,
You have it
I'm 2 seconds away from finishing up. 1 minute actually.
for whom?
For Tanner, James.
Oh.
Mr. Jordan said it already. All of them.
Oh, you already did. Okay, so that's good. Thank you.
Is the waiver of counsel form included, Mr.?
It was, Your Honor.
All right. And who was it sent to? Courtroom 2?
It was sent to Officer Blunt. She sent it back over to Mr. Jordan.
Okay, so these defendants have not reviewed the paperwork yet.
I think he has. Judge.
Tanner has. I'm
Mr.
not
Tanner
sure.
has.
I'm not sure about Mr. Harris.
Okay. And to whom was the completed paperwork sent?
So who do you need the other one?
Tanner.
So I sent Tanner and I
Okay.
sent Johannes.
He said he's reviewed his plea paperwork and sent it back.
Oh, it just hasn't come in yet. Oh, so it was 2 pleas or 3?
3.
So right now we're waiting on James Tanner completed paperwork.
Mm-hmm. Then we have Johannes, and then we have
Harris is pro se.
Tyrone Harris.
He's pro se too?
Yes. Position 13.
Judge, I do not believe Tyrone Harris, we got that far. I think he was asking questions about, he's the sovereign citizen, Judge.
And which position was that?
13.
All right, we're still waiting on the paperwork for Mr. Dan Tanner, so,
Tanner just came through.
oh, Tanner just came through? Okay, just let me, just see if it's,
Yes, Your Honor.
okay, is it signed? Okay, it looks like he's
Wait a
done a
minute.
conformed signature.
Sorry, Your Honor, it says Tanner, but this is Johannes. It's signed. Right? No, it's not signed.
No, it's got a conformed signature. at the
Okay.
bottom.
So
That was Miss Kim. Okay, sorry.
All right, and then go down to the waiver of counsel.
Oh, no, this is something Mr. Jordan sent me. That was the one he sent out there.
What do you have right now?
Nothing, we just waiting for them to come back
For whom?
for, Johannes and Tanner. We
Okay.
waiting for the jail to send it back.
Okay, you're not gonna get it from Johannes because he's got
I know.
questions. All right, Mr. Haddad? We don't have the paperwork from Tanner yet. As soon as I get it, I can start, but I need Johannes right now. Position 13.
Right, 13 is Tyrone Harris.
Oh, then who is,
This is Johannes and the sheriff, Judge.
I'm waiting.
Johannes is position 40, Judge.
40? Okay, sorry about that. All right, Mr. Let me get to your case. Okay. Mr. Johannes, do you have your plea paperwork yet?
No, that's all. I'm just waiting to sign that and then they'll send it back to you and we should be done. I just
And
haven't,
what was your question?
I didn't have any questions.
So you're already signed?
No, I want to go ahead with the plea guilty and I'm just waiting to sign the official paperwork that,
Listen very carefully again. Have you reviewed a hard copy, the actual paperwork, where you have to read your rights and decide what you want to do before you enter a guilty plea? Have you reviewed that paperwork?
No.
Okay, so that paperwork is being sent to the courtroom. It needs to be printed, given to you. You must read it, check the appropriate boxes, and sign off on it if you agree to the terms.
Understood.
So you've not done that, so I'm not ready to address your case.
Yeah, I know, but I thought.
All right, with regards to Tyrone Harris, are we ready to proceed with the plea? Mr. Harris, have you reviewed the paperwork for your plea?
I haven't received paperwork, but I'll plead not guilty.
You have not received it?
No, ma'am. I haven't
Okay.
received it Last time either.
Your Honor,
He never said he was taking a
Please, that's a sovereign citizen.
Oh, okay. So, oh, that's right. Sorry, Mr. Harris. I left you with the last question was whether you want to consider the plea offer or whether you like to plead not guilty and have a trial. So have you made a decision?
No, I plead not guilty.
Okay.
I've never seen paperwork, so.
No, you won't see paperwork. I thought you were considering a plea. All right.
Yes, ma'am. The last 3 trials I haven't received paperwork.
Okay. So, Tyrone Harris, case number 25 CR 002224Y is accused of criminal trespass from an incident date of April 28th, 2025 in Fulton County, Georgia. The criminal trespass is a misdemeanor offense. Mr. Harris, would you like me to read the accusation or would you like to waive a reading of the accusation?
You can do what you do, ma'am. I appreciate you.
That doesn't answer. Do you want me to read the formal accusation or do you waive a reading of the accusation?
You can read it for me.
Repeat.
I said you can read it for me.
This accusation submitted by the Solicitor General of Fulton County was filed on April 29th, 2025. And with respect to the accusation, the Solicitor General of Fulton County, Keith E. Gamage, does accuse Tyrone Harris with the offense of criminal trespass in that on or about April 28th, 2025, in Fulton County, Georgia, the accused did knowingly and without authority enter upon the land of Greyhound Bus Station located at 232 Forsyth Street in Southwest Atlanta after receiving prior to such entry notice that such entry is forbidden by the owner and authorized representative of the owner on December 25th, 2024 in violation of Georgia law section 16-7-21. Upon this accusation, you have decided to enter a not guilty plea. Upon your entry of such a plea, the case will be reset for a trial. You have the option of either considering a jury trial or a bench trial. At the time of the trial, the prosecutor has the complete burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. If the prosecution does prevail and overcome your legal presumption of innocence, you could be convicted of this offense and face a possible penalty of up to 1 year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine. Given this information, how do you plead?
I plead no contest, not guilty.
All right, no contest and not guilty are completely diametrically opposite pleas. No contest is tantamount to being a guilty plea and being sentenced.
Well, not guilty.
So this is a not guilty plea. Your case is going to be reset for trial. Jail jury, please be prepared to address the issues at trial and to represent yourself unless you choose to hire an attorney, or you can reach out again to the Public Defender's Office for representation. Thank you.
Okay, so the Chelsea right there.
Your Honor, may I step in, make announcements?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Johannes, and I'm gonna take over the case, Judge. I went over the plea paperwork with him. As an attorney, I read the rights and all that. He's good with me representing him for purpose of the plea. Obviously, as the court is aware, the discussions about the plea has already been put on the record. And other than that, he's ready to enter a negotiated plea, Judge.
Can you give me his name, please?
Sure, I apologize, Judge. It's the last position number 40, Philman.
Okay, got it. So Philman Johans has already been advised of his right to remain silent, and he's represented by Mr. Haddad. His case is 25 CR 002170G. The state has presented the offer on the record, which includes a $500 fine, anti-theft class, 40 hours community service, and to stay away from the incident location with a requirement that he stay on probation for 12 months. Mr. Haddad, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Stipulate, Judge.
All right. And Mr. Johans, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge? Have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, just the medicine I prescribed this morning.
Okay. After consuming the medicine, are you still able to understand what's going on?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, now that you've chosen to be represented by counsel, are you satisfied with the legal services you've received so far?
Yes.
And are you entering a guilty plea to these charges freely, willingly, and knowingly?
I am.
If you decide to do so, you would have to waive your right to a trial in front of a judge or a jury. You will not be able to go back to court to confront your accuser, challenge evidence that will be brought against you, be able to present your own legal defenses and arguments to the jury, and this prosecutor won't have to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you plead to one count of theft by shoplifting and criminal trespass?
Guilty.
On the shoplifting charge, your sentence is 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days. You will report to probation on Monday before 3 p.m. on May 12, 2025. While on probation, you will pay a $500 fine and enroll in an anti-theft class within 60 days of being released. For the trespass, your sentence is 12 months concurrent with count 1 to do 40 hours of community service at any nonprofit agency except a church or a school. You will complete your community service at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. At all times, you have to stay away from the Kroger at 2452 Marosco Way in Atlanta, Georgia. You will report to probation every month. You'll be up to date with your probation fees and pay your $500 fine at a minimum rate of $50 per month. That concludes your plea. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And I think the back is over the check the mic. You see?
Go back to position 30, Judge, Mr. Tanner.
Yes, sir. All right, is Mr. Tanner signed the waiver of counsel as well?
He didn't fill out the form, Judge, so I send it back.
He did not fill out the form at all?
I think they just reviewed it. So
I think he just reviewed it. Yes.
Mr. Tanner, we are sending back the document that you reviewed because you did not write down or check mark or sign anything. Deputy, do you have his completed form with you? Mr. Haddad, would you be so kind as to look at the form and see if it was completed or whether he just reviewed it?
Honor, they're all marked and signed on the copy that I have.
That's the one I need then.
That particular document has not been scanned and emailed back to us. We only have the,
Yeah, the one I got didn't have anything on it.
It's been scanned to, Mr. Jordan, Judge.
Your Honor, Ms. Blunt just stated that she had scanned this document back to Mr. Jordan, the signed documents.
Ask her, can she send it again? Because the one I have doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah, it's blank.
Can you send it? Yes.
Who's been scanning and sending it back?
Deputy Blunt?
Deputy, I'm not sure which document you scanned, but the one we have is completely blank. I mean, no check marks, no signatures. Okay. All right, while we're waiting for that, let's address Wesley Solomon. Involving a Jasmine Price. Mr. Solomon, Mr. Solomon, as I've already advised you, have a right to remain silent. And have you been represented by counsel?
No.
Would you like to speak to counsel while?
Could I get another court date so she's aware to get on or something? Because she don't
No,
want
I'm going to
continue.
require you to surrender to the jail today.
I'm not even in town.
Well, make sure you get to town because if you get pulled over, you will be arrested no matter where you are.
For what?
For this bench warrant, we have a warrant for your arrest.
I just literally got out of jail because of this failure to appear. I just got out a couple weeks ago for this failure to appear.
It's
You
still
were booked in on April 14th, 2025. You
for
paid
this failure for this failure to appear. Yes.
Okay. And you were released on April 15th. All right, so it looks like he's already been released on bond. Then why did you file another request to set aside the bench warrant?
Because they said the case is still going on, so they gave me another court date because I never went to court for this. I've been dealing with this for the past 2 years.
Okay, looks like the bench warrant has been closed out. He was booked into jail on April 14th and released on the $1,000 surety bond. And your request for a court date should have been with the judge who is trying the case. And that would be Judge J. Roth.
So how would I go about doing that?
You
Because
would
when I
need
came
either-
down, when I came down there physically 2 days, I mean, on the 30th to get this court date, and they gave it to me on the 8th. If that was the case, they should have just gave me
Did
the
you
original
read the
judge.
document that you signed?
The Zoom document?
Did you read the document that you signed?
No.
Okay. This is a hearing to address your bench warrant. This is
Your Honor.
not a court date to be set for, before Judge Roth. So
Okay.
you requested the hearing for the wrong calendar. So you are going to request just first of all, make sure you have the correct address. And if you want, you can reach out to Judge Roth's office to ask
me-
them, ask them
could-
when's your next court date? Because that's the judge who has your case now.
Judge Ross,
Roth, J. Roth.
J. Roth. Okay.
I'll be
All right.
happy to assist him if he needs help.
And you can reach out to the public defender's office to see if you qualify. If you want to do so.
Qualify for what now?
If you want to have legal representation. If you financially qualify, they'll represent you. But if you do not financially qualify, I highly recommend you hire an attorney.
We literally want the case over with. That's all I'm saying.
So,
I
Mr.
just-
Solomon, I'm going to explain one thing to you. And that is the decision to dismiss the case is not with Jasmine. The decision to dismiss the case is solely with you need to let me finish, is solely with the prosecutor. If the prosecutor decides that they want to still proceed with the case, even if Jasmine says no, That's entirely up to the prosecutor.
Okay.
Okay? So this is an active criminal case against you, and you need to reach out to an attorney, or you reach out to Judge Roth's office to get your next court date.
Could you spell out the email for me, ma'am?
Spell out what?
Her email, so I can email them.
Look it up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go. Okay. Do we have Mr. Tanner's completed?
We're about to send it over now, Judge. He just signed.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, just to go over the calendar while we're waiting for the plea paperwork, for Wesley Solomon, this bench warrant is already closed out by arrest. So that's further notice to Judge Roth. On the add-on calendar, Scott Dobbs, that was a plea. On the main SAP calendar, Quintero Acuna, this is reset to SAP on May 27. For Adelsberger, that was a plea. Position 3, Andrews, that's reset to May 27, SAP. Position 4, Brown was a plea. Position 5, Choice was a plea. Position 6, Dougherty was a plea. Position 7, Tourouse Douglas. 7 and 8, this is going to be a waiver of arraignment and further notice jail jury.
Honor, I'm sorry, I believe these were transferred.
It was accepted by the DA, Your Honor.
Oh, this was accepted
That's
by,
correct.
okay. So this is transferred, I'm sorry, I'm just reading the notices, but this is transferred to DA's office. Okay. So that's going to be sent to Superior Court.
Your Honor, I need my orders for the transfer.
Okay. I think I saw some transfer orders on my email by Miss Allen. Mr. Scirocco, if Miss Allen did not send them, could you make sure these transfer orders are sent in?
Will do, Judge.
Thank you. All right, so position 8 is also the transfer to Superior Court. Position 9, Dugard was, Mr. Dugard was released, so that's further notice. Elder was a plea. Position 11, Evans was a plea. 12, Forston is further notice for trial. Bond was modified to a signature bond through pretrial, level 2. Position 13, Harris is arraigned and further notice for jail jury. Position 14, Jackson was a plea. Position 15 is reset to May 23rd, SAP. Position 16 and 17, Laguna.
Your Honor, those are reset for next week. We need a Spanish interpreter for him.
All right, position 16 and 17 is reset to May 15, Spanish interpreter required. Position 18, Logan, is reset to May 15, appointing Maureen McLeod to represent him. Position 19, McLaurin, is reset to May 15, SAP. Position 20, Mikkel, what are we doing?
Your Honor, I don't know. He was never brought here.
Miss Kim?
He didn't show up either. I need to speak to him, Your Honor. I guess we can reset to next week, Your Honor. He does have another case anyway.
All right, it's reset to May 15, SAP. Position 21, Middleton, was a plea. 22, Mott, has it been transferred?
I believe the order has been sent. It's certainly been accepted, Judge.
All right,
But I'll follow up on all these.
thank you. Position 23, Jeremiah O'Neill, is a waiver of arraignment and further notice jail jury. Position 24 and 25, felony transfer has been accepted, so we'll need an order to transfer the cases. Position 26 has been transferred to felony court. We'll need an order to transfer. 27, Schott Lutner was a plea. 28, Sessions was a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. Position 29, Christopher Sheets, is a waiver of arraignment and further notice for trial. Position 30, James Tanner, is pro se, awaiting for a plea paperwork. Position 31, Thompson, was a plea. 32, Daniel Thornton.
Donna, we need to reset him for competency. Our social worker spoke to him. And I think we need to get an evaluation, so.
All right, this is going to be reset to, I'm going to reset it 2 weeks out, and that would be May 27th at 11 a.m.
The 20, you said the 22nd, correct?
Is it 22nd? Did I misquote? Is it 22nd?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
2 weeks, Thursday to 22nd.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's May 22nd at 11 a.m. All right, pending evaluation, pending a social worker visit and evaluation if needed. And this is for positions 32 and 33.
Yes, Judge. We need an evaluation, actually.
All right, will y'all be submitting an evaluation order?
Yes, Judge, I'll have Ms. Kim or myself or somebody.
All right. Okay, that'd be good. 34, Wilder was a plea. 35, Alonzo Williams was a plea. 36, Latoya Williams. Yes, sir.
That's gonna be a not guilty plea. We've already gone through that back on April 15th, so I wasn't really sure why she's back on an SAP. I spoke to her, she still maintains a not guilty plea, so, but the paperwork has already been filed previously.
I don't know either, but this case is going to be reset for trial.
Thank you.
This is Latoya Williams. Yeah, I have Miss Hoda Atai filed an entry of appearance. Okay. Williams, Rico Williams was, that was a plea, wasn't it?
No, Judge, that was a felony transfer request. They denied that, so we'll be taking it up at the next reset to provide.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Hey, Judge.
So Rico Williams will be addressed next Thursday on the SAP calendar as a misdemeanor case. All right, 38, Wright was a plea. 39, Dominic Wright. That's reset to May 15th, appointed Dennis Murphy, who would need to confer with him. And then position 40, Johans was a plea. Any, Mr. Tanner's paperwork?
Hey, Judge. Mr. Jordan, did you receive the paperwork?
Yes, I did.
All right, we're good to go. Thank you.
Your Honor, may I be excused at this time? It's ASG Pamela Westman.
All right, definitely. Have a good week. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Take care. Bye.
James Tanner, 25 CR 2163A, is accused of simple battery against an officer and disorderly conduct from April 25th, 2025. He's been advised of his right to remain silent. He has waived his right to counsel and is proceeding self-represented. Mr. Tanner, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Scirocco, could you tell me the recommendation for Mr. Tanner?
Yes, Judge. On count 1, the simple battery against a law enforcement officer, it's 12 months probation, served 28 days, credit for time served 14 days, with the balance probated for him to complete an Op 21 law and decision-making course. And with respect to the second count, disorderly conduct, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1, 40 hours community service. We ask the defense to stipulate to factual basis, venue, and identification.
All right. Mr. Tanner, is that the recommendation that you've accepted?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you agree that the correct defendant, that is you, has been correctly charged in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you agree that the factual basis supporting the charges are true and accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you agree that these charges occurred in Fulton County, Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And after reviewing the paperwork, do you understand the questions and do you understand the statements in those documents?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you entering a plea of guilty to the two charges freely, willingly, and knowingly?
Yes, ma'am.
If you do so, you understand that you would have to waive your right to a trial. You will not go back to a court of law to face a judge or a jury. You will not be able to challenge the evidence which is in possession of the state, and you will not be able to present your own legal arguments, defenses, or any mitigating factors with regards to this case, and you won't be able to present that to a judge or a jury. You will also have to waive your right to have the prosecutor prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive all these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to simple battery against an officer and theft by shoplifting? Excuse me, disorderly conduct.
Guilty.
For the simple battery, your sentence is going to be 12 months to serve 28 days, credit for time served 14 days. If you have no other holds, you'll be released within 24 hours, but you must report to Fulton County Probation on Monday before 3 p.m. on May 12, 2025. While on probation, you will enroll and complete an OP 21 law and decision-making course at your expense, and you must enroll in that program within 60 days of being released. For the disorderly conduct, it's going to be 12 months concurrent with count 1, and you'll be required to do 40 hours of community service with any nonprofit agency, but except a church or a school. And you will complete your 40 hours at a minimum rate of 5 hours per month. Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right. I've reviewed your plea paperwork and it's complete, so that concludes your case. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, the plea paperwork goes to Ms. Grace, is that correct?
It would go to Mr. Michael Jordan, Michael.Jordan, or it can go to Chanel.Young.
Thank you.
Same would go for the felony transfers, Judge, the paperwork there.
Yeah.
Michael said send them to me, Your Honor. Mr. Jordan said don't send them to him.
Mr. Jordan says he's going to defer and have everyone send the paperwork for SAP today to Chanel Young.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good day.
Judge?
May I be excused as well?
Yes, anyone who is not involved in the competency calendar, you're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Have a nice day.
You too, sir.
You able to let me know?
Judge Locke, could I have a short break?
Yes,
5 minutes is fine.
we have a 5-minute recess. I also need to make sure I got the paperwork together. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Skip. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you. There's no hair. It's really good. Yeah. I know it hasn't blazed enough. Oh, man. Who's that?
Oh, Miss Howard, actually, I just realized that we don't need any of the matters on the competency calendar reported.
Oh.
So we're good to go. If you want to, you're free to go.
And
Extended
nothing,
recess.
okay. There was a, is there another calendar?
No, we don't.
Competency?
Oh, that doesn't get reported.
Okay.
There may be one or two, hey, Ms. Howard, how are you?
Oh, do you have a plea for those cases?
There may be one or two, please, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
They are time served, please. There's no additional time.
All right. I misspoke then, Miss Howard. Yep, you have to stick around. Sorry.
No problem, no problem.
Okay. All right, let's see, we can stop the live stream. Miss Grace?
Hey, Judge.
And the recording?